let's see here. Are we live? So far, it looks like we're live. Alright. Greetings, Vaultus. I'm Interrogator dos Audios at Satan Lady Inquisitor Marco of the Order Hereticus, and welcome to the Cute and Painting Minis. I'm coming at you live from the grim dark future, currently broadcasting from the high world of Virago. The theme for the stream is Chords, Lament to Hope by the Venerable Liturgist Adam Bell. We also had music from 140K Mechanicus, composed by Guillaume David and the copyrighted Bulwark Studios, and music from 140K Dark Tide, which is composed by Jesper Kid and the copyrighted Fat Shark Games. All the music provided to us by ende.app and pixabay.com. And today we're continuing to paint my Tzeentch Marine. I make sure I can see his spot on the camera here. Sorry for the delay, varlets, but Lady Markham had some important duties for me to complete, and I had to pretty much scramble to get back here. So, yes, I am very eagerly awaiting to continue this awesome model. As you can see, we already got a lot of the colors down. We have the God Emperor Man saying hello there. How you doing, God Emperor Man? How you been? Yeah, we currently have a lot of the blues on there, but we're going to continue adding some more blues. And we're going to go with Ahriman Blue, because we already did Thousand Suns Blue, so now it's Ahriman Blue. So we're going to use a smaller brush for this. I'm going to use my size 1 Grabby. But how's everybody doing? How you been? Anybody got the chance to see my latest painting tutorial for the first ever coming out? And we have Explicator Valeria saying hello, Rosa. How you doing, Explicator? How you been? Welcome, welcome. Up to anything fun this week? God Emperor, how comes along your new Land Raider? And we have Bernie McGrath saying hello. How you doing, Bernie McGrath? Welcome to Looking Cute and Painting Minis. I'm Interrogator dos Audios at Satan Lady Inquisitor Marco of the Order Hereticus, and I'm currently painting what I like to call my Tzeentch Marine. Welcome, welcome. How you been? What brings you by? God Emperor says, good. I finished it 2 days ago. We'll post it soon. Nice. Yeah, looking forward to seeing it. But yeah, Bernie McGrath, if you've never seen the stream before, or at least have seen it, but maybe never commented, my name is Wasato Rivas, and usually what I like to do is I like to paint minis while chatting with the people who, decide to swing on by. We talk about all kinds of nerdy things, primarily Warhammer stuff. But yeah, you say, Expectative Letter says, fine, just eating, while Cal is finishing some paperwork, but he is here just lurking. Okay, cool. Yeah, tell him I say hello. And Brendan McGrath says boredom. Okay. Well, hopefully my stream is not boring for you. Do you know anything about Warhammer or anything about miniature painting? Are you a fan? Yeah, currently using Ironman Blue, and I'm using my size 1 Grabby. Bernie McGrath says, I'm from Ireland. Well, welcome! I think you're my first Irish viewer, at least one that's spoken up. Hope you enjoy the stream. And if you do know anything about Bernie McGrath says, no, not really, but it's cool. Okay. You have any hobbies you like to perform or any artistic interests, I guess? And speaking of Valeria, what is it you're eating right now? Usually you're cooking us some fun cuisine. Got anything interesting on the menu tonight? Valeria says it's cow's nonna, which means grandma in Italian. Lasagna recipe from scratch. Nice. Did you make it or did he make it? Spaghetti Valeria says I did, but he helped. In short, we both did. Okay, nice. Yeah, today I actually helped a little bit with the cooking too. I helped make some of the rice that we were eating tonight. And Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, Guten Abend, Venor Specialist, good evening, interrogator. You're always with the alternate languages. Welcome, welcome, Lord Inquisitor. How you been? Lady Inquisitor Markham sends her regards. Yeah, funny enough, we have a Magos in our retinue who's actually quite the cook. She is a Magos biologist, so it makes sense, I guess. But you don't usually expect good cooking from the Mechanicus. The Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, I shall send mine in turn. As for the different language, it's my native tongue. Oh, really? I figured it was, you were originally Italian because of the, your grandmother being, at least being called Nonna. Anyone watching anything fun or interesting recently? I just watched the movie The Sheep Detective. It was so good. I had a great time watching it. Aside from that, I've been watching season 2 of Tokyo Revengers. I wasn't even aware that seasons 2 and 3 had come out, but I just recently found out because I was just curious. Oh, let me see whatever happened to that show. Because I really liked it, and they left it on quite the cliffhanger. And then here we are. There's been 2 seasons since last I watched it. So, definitely having to catch up. It's always hard when you're trying to catch up with an old show that you really liked, but you barely remember what was going on. So you're trying to puzzle together what was happening. Because it's a lot of seasons. Season 1 was very long. And I didn't really feel like going back and rewatching all that. Anybody ever see Tokyo Revengers? And speaking of seeing, my latest video just came out. It is actually a painting tutorial. So if you're interested in learning how I painted my Plague Marine, go ahead and check it out. It's about half an hour long. Hopefully it gives you all the information you need to go ahead and paint your own Plague Marine. If you feel like it's still missing some information, please let me know. I definitely want to get better at creating those because I do have another one planned in the works. And then we have Fuan is back after a long time saying, finally I get to catch my favorite painter again. Oh, I have to watch that. How you doing, Fuan? How you been? Yeah, let me know if you do watch it and what you think. I'm very curious. I would like a lot of feedback on this one. Definitely want to make sure that people are getting the most out of my painting tutorials. How you been? What you been up to? Okay, I've gotten some already on his chest, his helmet, his shoulder pads, his arms. I think I could use a little bit more on his arms. As Peter Valeria says, interesting, might have to give that a watch if I get a chance, if the amount of show doesn't bog us down with paperwork. Yeah, let me know. I am very eager to find out what you all think of it. I'm gonna try not to put too much of this Iron Man blue on here. Votacuzzer Callahan says, my nonna is from my mother's side, as she comes from a small Italian village called Vernazza. As for my father's side, it's pure Prussian. Oh, okay. Thank you for the heads up. I'm always curious how wonderful mixes like that happen. It's always fun to see a combination of cultures. Okay, let's work on the top of the power pack here. That extra, what's it called? Ammo pouch or ammo pack? Anybody here watching anything new and interesting? Also, has anybody heard of Tokyo Revengers? I know I just mentioned it earlier, but maybe you never heard of it. I can give you a try. At least I could try to give you a plot synopsis. See if that's something that would suit your interests. Name is getting a little clogged up with paint. I'm gonna have to clean it up. Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, rewatching Emperor TTS with Val. Oh, it's been a while since I've seen that. There's so many good episodes. What do you think of his, what's it called? His Hunter the Parenting, I guess it's called. It's based off of Hunter the Reckoning. Full says Tokyo Revenger was okay. I watched both of the Gundam Hathaway movies lately. Second movie sucks. Okay, good to know. I haven't seen a lot of Gundam. I've seen a tiny bit. What's that? Gundam Wing, and I've seen the first season of. Is it Iron Blooded Orphans? Yeah, that one was actually really good. I liked the first season at least. Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, haven't seen it, might give it a shot. And Espagetta Valeria says, Amps TTS is funny, but might give that a watch. Yeah, let me know if you guys do. I started watching it and I thought it was decent. I'm not sure if it gets better later on, but I don't know, I just felt like it was banking too much on the characters he already made famous with Emperor TTS. So it almost feels like a pseudo continuation of Emperor TTS. Fuan says, I'm not a Gundam fan either. Friend just dragged me to watch it with him. Ah, okay. What are you a fan of? The Analytic Wizard Galleon says, but what I have heard is that Speaker D, the voice of the Big D, saying that with a straight face is hard, gives a banger from the clips I have seen. Yeah, his names are pretty funny. And then Fuan says you have a very stable hand. Oh, thank you, thank you. It's primarily me tucking in my elbows and then using the table as also a bit of a anchor to make sure that my hand goes where I want it to go. Fuan says, I like Fate Stay Night. That's actually one I've always wanted to get into. I just haven't had much of the chance. I've heard it gets a little convoluted as far as the timeline. So I guess that's been one of the things keeping me from just pulling the trigger and watching it. Plus, I don't know where I would watch the old ones. And then Ray Levan, first time chatter, I'm guessing. I haven't heard your name before. Saying, I love Tzeentch colors. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. But yeah, my name is Interrogator Rosariwas at Saitibulate Inquisitor Markham of the Order Hereticus, and I'm painting what I like to call my Tzeentch Marine. He's not 1,000 suns. He's just a Chaos Space Marine who's fallen in with the God of Change. So what brings you by? And since you say you love Tzeentch, is Thousand Suns your favorite army, or do you have another one? And Valeria says, one anime I watched is Gate, thus the GSDF fought there. Oh yeah, I've heard of Gate. I heard it gets pretty crazy. And the GSDF just wiped the floor with anything fantasy. I heard it's kind of like a recruiting video. It's like, hey, kick as much butt as GSDF. Or should I say JSDF? Yeah, JSDF. I keep saying G. Fuan says fate is only complicated if you watch anime only. Play the visual novel, then everything makes sense and linear. Ah, okay, gotcha. So is that what you recommend then? I play the visual novel? And then Relevant says, yeah, I mean, first time comments, I usually only see, haha. Ah, okay. Well, welcome. I hope you have a good time, and yeah, again, big question. What's your favorite army, and what got you into Warhammer? As Spectator Valeria says, especially that punk Zorzal. I don't know much about the character, so I'll have to just check it out at some point so that I know what you're talking about. And Rilavan says, I remember JSDF, the scene of the Roman soldiers in the helicopter. It was so Warhammer thing. Okay, you're selling me on the idea. And Fuan says the remastered is so good. They cut out the sex scene and make it HD. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think that'll make it easier to to play on stream at some point. But yeah, lately I've been playing the story for Grand Blue Fantasy. I don't know how many of you have caught those games. And that has kind of an interesting story so far. What do you all think of it? Have any of you played any of the Grand Blue Fantasy games? Rilavan says it's in Pilgar, but I especially love the Tempestus. And it was my older brother who got me into this. Oh, cool. If you could afford getting an army, which one would you get? The Imperial Guard, I guess? And the pests are pretty cool. I actually kitbashed my first models, which were a Tempestus Scion kill team. And I used some heads from Puppets War and some of the old heads from Warhammer Fantasy to make my own Spanish Conquistador kill team. Came out really good. And the last model I had was actually the last model I had to paint was my first model painting on stream. Unfortunately, that stream has been lost to time. Explicator Valeria says, short and sweet, Zorzal, Browse Zorel, is an egocentric, warmongering crown prince who has a god complex and acts like a petulant manchild. So like every other crown prince character. Something like, what was that really terrible, King Joffrey from Game of Thrones. And Rilava says, I actually don't have many, it's just some nobles. Okay, yeah, what I was asking is if you were to get your hands on any, which ones would you get? My guess is Imperial Guard because you said they're your favorite army, but I wasn't sure. And what novels have you read? The first novels I read were Imperial Guard novels. They were the Caiaphas Cain novels. If I say there's nothing wrong with going recast or 3D print, yeah, that's true. Right now, my hope is to get a 3D printer of my own someday. And Ray Levant says, yeah, the Tempestus. And if I can, I want the Custodies. Ah, the Golden Boys. Or the Banana Boys. I can't remember which ones they're often called. Would you paint them? How would you paint them if you had the chance? And Fuan says custodians are a very good money per point ratio. Yeah, that would make sense, seeing as they're overpowered for sure. Or being custodians. Alright, I think I might be done with this color. Maybe let's get a little bit here on the tip. And Relamon says, I have read all the principle of the Horus Heresy. As I remember, the novel I still need to read is Ashes of the Imperium. Yeah, that's still a novel series I have yet to actually get my hands on. The Horus Heresy series. It's just too many books. Plus, I've seen so many of the videos that explain the lore that I feel like I cannot really get the gist of it, and maybe if I were to get it, I would just be interested in getting the ones with some of the characters that I'm more interested in. But who knows, maybe one day I'll get the whole thing. Juan says, always recommend everyone to read it, Divine and the Infinite. Haha, I like the Divine and the Infinite so much. Lore that I didn't know I wanted to know. I'm torn on the Infinite and the Divine. I haven't read it yet, and from what I've heard, everybody loves it. I've just been like the kind of person who still liked it when the Necrons are a little bit more of this mysterious and almost Terminator-like entity. It definitely made them scary. I feel like they're not scary anymore. But that could be just due to the fact that I got introduced to the Necrons through the Caiaphas Cain novels. Okay, I think I am done with that arm in blue. And Relabon says, haha, the bad thing is that my city is almost nobody knows Warhammer. I live in a small city, but recently an official store opened, so I guess this Warhammer craze has finally arrived here. Nice. Yeah, it was at the Warhammer store where I officially painted my first ever mini. And after that, I got hooked. So enter a Warhammer store at your own peril, because they will give you a mini for free. But that's how they get you. The first one's always free. Then realizes I'm thinking of buying my first pack in December, aiming for Scions, but if not, then Custodes, and if not, Tyranids. The Scions, I know that they don't sell the original Scions models anymore. That's not that I've seen. So you probably be able to get the Tempestus Scions Aquilons, the ones that are that kill teamed with the flying, I guess, graph shoots in the back, which are pretty neat. And Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, ah yes, Commissar Kane. I've had the pleasure of meeting King. Oh, that's awesome. The hero of the Imperium. I'd love to meet him. What was he like? Was he as down to earth as he seems in the books? And I'm excited to get the mini. I really want to get that mini. Alright, we're done with this brush. So let's get my size 0 Da Vinci. Let's start painting with my Northern Blue. And Fuan says there's only 3 official Warhammer store here. And Raylaban kind of gave a little sad face to that. It says, Fuan says, I went and got hooked this sleep by the model painting. Oh yes, very true. I said, that's how they get you. I realized, because I would always been afraid to paint the minis, I always figured, oh, that's just too much for me. I have very unsteady hands. And then when I went there, I saw that I could actually do it. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll buy some. And buy some became an addiction that I have yet to let go of. So yeah, now we're painting with Northern Blue, and I'm using my size 0 Da Vinci. And Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, yes, and the unpleasant smell of Jurgen. Oh, I bet. I mean, he's purposely supposed to stink. I mean, what with being a blank and whatnot. Fuan says, every time I hold that bottle up, an uncontrollable fear of dropping it get to me. Which bottle? And the Gunner Man says, ah yes, plastic crack. Yes it is. Most definitely it is. Oh yeah, looking good. Floss has a Citadel bottle. Ah, I gotcha, yeah. Yeah, I try not to hold it too much. I keep it there. I did drop it once while it was open. Happy with my gold paint? I got gold everywhere. God Emperor Man says, be right back. Okay, yeah, take your time, God Emperor. I know you're a very busy man. Man, I love edge highlighting. Always makes everything pop. And we have Cameron, first time shadow, saying sick. Just finished a Night Lord's Marine myself. Oh, very nice. And I'm glad you're liking it. And welcome, welcome. I'm Interrogator Rosarios, attaché to my Inquisitor Marco of the Order Hereticus, and this is Look Cute and Painting Minis. What brings you by? And yes, this is my Tzeentch Marine. Currently painting primarily the armor, but there's been some other parts that I've been working on. And is like Night Lords your main army? Well, my brush is getting a little frayed here, so I'm gonna have to mess with it a bit. Cameron says, working on the kill team, yeah, but I'm probably gonna do Necrons next. Ooh, so you got the Night Lord's kill team? Very nice. I wanted to get the Sisters of Battle kill team that came with it. And you said you're probably gonna do Necrons next, as in a full army, or maybe just a kill team? And we have J Ray saying, "What is up? How you doing, J Ray? How you been? Welcome, welcome." Currently doing a little bit of edge highlighting. Cameron says probably a kill team or maybe an army, depends on my wallet, lol. Yeah, that's why I mostly stick to kill teams, because my wallet does not like armies. Also, I'm not very patient to paint all those models. I like switching around and painting other things. Fuad says, it's almost time for my Spanish class. Gotta go. Time to scare them with the idea of a paella burrito. Hey, I'd try it. I don't like how that turned out. I'm gonna try that again. I'm gonna put my arm in blue. Alright, that looks better. Gunner Mass says laughs in over $4,000 of Warhammer. That includes my Ultramarines, 40k, and Horus Heresy, Imperial Guard with a small attaché of sisters from a custom order, and a CSM army that I did as a small project just because I was bored one day and decided to try and paint a CSM model. Yes, like we've been saying, it's very much plastic crack. Oh, my wallet cries. Alright, so back to edge hiding. Too many little flecks of paint hanging around. Kristen Draco, again, I believe first time chatter on the I've seen you around before saying, this makes me want to paint my own figures again. Well, welcome, welcome. Hopefully, you get that itch to paint again. What would you paint if you got the chance? I'm Interrogator Rosarivas at Tzeentch Markum of the Order Hereticus, and welcome to Looking Cute and Painting Minis. I find painting minis to be very fun and relaxing, honestly. May clean the brush again. It's getting kind of clumped up there. Kristen Draco says currently working on a salamander comet patrol. Ooh, nice. I definitely want to paint my own salamander at some point. I already have the perfect mini that I want to paint for it. It's the captain with the assault or the jump pack and the hammer. He looks great, and I'm like, he will look perfect in the salamander green. And Kristen Drago says, yes, he does. I have Vulcan Heston instead. Kinda scared to work on him, though. Yeah, I feel you. It took me a while to finally work up the courage to paint some of my models, especially the one that's supposed to be the leader for this kill team, which is a kitbash that I did for Village of Kurtzling. And I placed him in Warhammer 40k as, again, the leader of this kill team here. Originally, it was supposed to be for a chaos kill team, but now, with the rule changes for 3rd edition, I think I might have to use it for a Thousand Suns kill team instead. Still play with the same idea that I was planning to to play as, but it unfortunately is going to have to use the rules for the Thousand Suns kill team. Unless I find somebody out there who's willing to play a 2nd edition with me. Yeah, unfortunately, I already put him away, so I can't show him at this moment. But if you go to my Instagram, you can find him on there. My Instagram is Rosario Rivas Art. Alright, I'm really liking how the edge highlighting on the backpack is looking. Relevant says, sorry, some students have arrived in my area. I should mention that I'm watching this while I'm at work. Hey, no worries. It's okay if you have to work and you want to lurk or if you have to leave. Hey, I understand. I really appreciate the view, though. I hope to see you again for the next one. I'm not saying that you have to leave now, but I'm just saying that now in case you do have to leave. There's times while painting that I feel like I have to hold my breath. And Ray Levant says, well, I've actually already taken care of them, but, by the way, is that a Plague Marine, or am I seeing bad? You're not seeing bad. It's not a Plague Marine, but the helmet is a Plague Marine helmet. The rest of the body, except for the shoulder pads, this one particular, are all from the Chaos Space Marines box set. Oh, and the chest is actually from the Khorne Berserkers from Age of Sigmar. I went ahead and green stuffed that on there. But yes, the helmet is definitely Nurgle. Or should I say Plague Marine. And we have one Mitch Biggs saying, I pray for you painting all that trim. Oh, trust me, this ain't my first rodeo as far as Chaos Space Marines. Yeah, their trim is usually insane. But welcome, Mitch. How you been? Welcome to Looking Cute and Painting Minis. I'm Interrogator Dos Ardiwas at Shade Inquisitor Markham of the Order Hereticus, and I'm painting what I like to call my Tzeentch Marine. Thank you for swinging by. What brought you to my stream? And have you heard of Warhammer? And if so, what is your favorite army? And we have Kristen Drackle saying, whoop, giving in and grabbing out my paints and stuff. One of us, gooble gobble, one of us. And Ray Levon says, wait, so I can mix all of them like that? This makes so new perspective. Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of kit bashing, which, if you don't know what kit bashing is by taking separate kits and bashing them together, hence the name kit bash. And you get some pretty fun results when you do that. My first kit bash was with my Tempestus Scions, where I took away the Tempestus Scion heads, and I replaced them with old Warhammer Fantasy heads, and some heads that I had bought from Puppets War, in order to make them look like conquistadors. It looked really nice by the end result. And I just love doing that. I always like customizing and specializing my own little guys. Give me a second, I have to fix something here. Okay, the camera's back on, so continuing to paint. Alright, so, Geno Mass says, recently I had watched a Warhammer 40k animation using Arma 3 engine called Scorch. It's on YouTube. Is that the one by Gamzo, I believe? I've heard of his work, and it's pretty good. Haven't seen it yet, so I wouldn't know, but yeah. I know Gamza's well known in the YouTube fan animation Warhammer scene. And Relevant says that sounds amazing. Yeah, if you guys watch it, let me know if it's any good. Like I said, I haven't seen it myself. I've mostly only seen TTS, Astartes, and then many of the comics that get made into like little skits and whatnot. Board 71 or Board 71. First time chatter says that you ever make errors while painting or are all happy accidents? Sometimes I make errors. Earlier, I accidentally, on his mask, I added too much of this, Lowland blue that I'm using on his face, and I had to go back and repaint it with the, what's it called? Almond blue, which was the color that I had there originally. But yeah, welcome. I'm Interrogator Rosarius at Tzeentch Inquisitor Marco of the Order Hereticus, and this is me painting my Tzeentch Marine. Pretty much what we do on the stream is talk, just chat, and paint minis. And then on Sundays, I actually have a gaming stream. But yeah, what brings you back? Do you like miniature painting and or Warhammer? And Gulliver Man says, also just posted that image of the Land Raider. I will check it out, my Emperor. Pretty soon. Just give me a second here to go through and finish some of this edge highlighting. I'll do a little bit of the tips here and there. Okay, not sure if I went off there for a little bit. Just making sure that everything's still going. Looks like I'm back. Board 71 says, love Warhammer. Always wanted to try play a tabletop game, but never had money. Yeah, having the money is always the hard part. I'm just gonna finish this rim here. Feels like it still needs. So many flecks that I'm trying to scrape off and clean off. Alright, here we go. And board says, and I'm not sure I can paint good. Well, there's only one way to find out. You could always try. I didn't know I could paint good either until I tried myself and realized it wasn't as hard as I thought. And then, of course, I've just been building up the talent since then. So if you're really curious to actually try to paint, I'd say, go to your nearest Warhammer store and ask them to teach you. They do actually give free lessons there. They'll give you a free mini that you can take home with you. Yeah, so I definitely recommend it if that's something you're interested in. Don't let your lack of ability be something that keeps you from trying. And Board asked players, and then Rilavan says, yeah, someone to play with. And then Board says, that sounds lonely. And then he replied, actually, I don't know if town has a community either, lol. What? Went to check? You guys don't have Discord? I don't have a Discord. No, I do not. All the socialization that I do is actually on Instagram. But I guess if there's enough of a a want for it, I could form one. Then Willaman says, haha, it started for the pictures of the new shop. But oh boys, scares a little. I gotcha. Yeah, sometimes being the only person can be a little scary. But I've been in that situation plenty of times where I was the only, person as X, Y, or Z thing. And sometimes you'd be surprised. You actually get to meet some very fun people. Then Rilaban says, "Woo-hoo! I have the #1 crown." Hey, oh, I was speaking of community of Warhammer in my town. And then Board says, "Congrats on crown." What is that, by the way? I don't know, but I got it, said Rilaban. I'm getting a little confused now on what's being answered to what. When you say you were speaking at community of Warhammer in your town, is that what you're talking about? As in you were kind of afraid to meet with them? Okay, how we looking? I feel like at this point, it's time to start with the extreme highlights. I'm just double check, see if I'm missing anything here. Alright. Let's do it. And then Board 71 says, guys, OMG, I can buy Warhammer books in my town. Nice. That's always good. That's where I started. I started with the books. The first books I read were the Caiaphas Cain novels. Absolutely loved them. And I still haven't found a single Warhammer book that has beaten those as far as quality. There's some that come close, but I think the Cain novels were my favorites. And we have Mudkip96 saying, "Love seeing people paint their minis." Welcome, Mudkip. How you been? I am Interrogator Rosarius at Satan Inquisitor Markham of the Order Hereticus, and I'm currently painting my Tzeentch Marine. And you say you're painting a tactical squad and dreadnought as Blood Ravens. Very nice. You excited for the new Dawn of War game? Okay, I am done with that Lothern Blue, and I think I'm done with this brush. It's giving me too much hassle. And we have first-time chatter Ghost King Boo saying, "What's a Tzeentch Marine?" Tzeentch Marine is pretty much what I like to call a Chaos Space Marine that is aligned with Tzeentch, the god of change, but is not one of the Thousand Sons. But welcome, Ghost King. I am Interrogator Rosarius at Satan Inquisitor Markham of the Order Hereticus, and welcome to Looking Cute Painting Minis. And we have Phaedros X saying, "Hey, yo again, Rosario Rivasar. How you doing, Phaedros? It's been a long time. How you been? What you been up to?" And Mudkip96 says, "I'll probably wait for complete or definitive editions of Dawn of War 4. Yeah, I don't blame you. But try to get it right when it comes out or something like that, because a lot of times they expand on it so much, especially with those games from Creative Assembly. If you look at them, like they keep patching new armies, and by the time you're like looking, okay, let me see, I want to get the full experience, it's like hundreds of dollars." I think we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and paint the extreme highlight, and we'll be done with all the blue. For this extreme highlight, I'm going to use my quintuple zero Marie. And Relavan says, wait, actually, do you have some Rubik Marines? No, I do not. Oh, wait, and before that, Phaedro says, it has been. I've been injured and recovering. Got a herniated disc in my lower back. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But I'm glad you're doing better. Phaedro says, I've been hobbying though. Oh, that's good. What have you been hobbying? Painting any minis or anything like that? And Ghost King Blue says, another one fall into heresy. Not necessarily. I like to paint everything. I don't stick with one singular army or kill team. I mostly like to paint whatever whim suits me at the time. Right now, it suits me to paint this Tzeentch Marine. Alright, right now we're just hitting the little corners. And, let's see. Phaedro says, are you looking forward to the 11th edition or do you not play? I cannot remember, it's been so long. I have not played an actual game of 40k ever. I've only played some games of Kill Team. And of course I've played some of the video games. But because of the fact that Warhammer 40k proper requires so many models, I just haven't gotten a full army up to, gaming standard. It's not yet. But am I looking forward to it? I'd say so. I'm actually very excited for the new orc models. They look very nice. Okay, where was I? Okay, Christian Draco says, I am attempting to read all of the Horus Heresy. Okay, have you started with any of them yet? Like how far along are you? Then Mudkip says, honestly, I think I enjoy Dawn of War 2's RPG take more than traditional RTS of Dawn of War 1. Dawn of War 2 is actually the only Dawn of War game I've ever played, and I did enjoy it. I played the Orc campaign, the Imperial Guard campaign, and the Space Marine campaign. Very fun. And then Phaedro says, I've been building a ton, mainly Star Wars, but some 40k and AOS. Woo, what would you say is the highlight of the stuff you built? And then we have Griffin Roosting just following. Thank you very much for the follow, Griffin Roosting. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. The guy in Emperor Man says, don't let Asmodai hear you say that to Ghost King Boo. And then Rain of On says, I like Dawn of War 1, I love Dawn of War 2, and I have a special hate for Dawn of War 3. Most people have a special hate for Dawn of War 3. I know you didn't bother. As soon as my friends tell me it sucked, I was like, okay, I'll just stay away. Fado says, 11th edition would be a great place to start. Yeah, if I ever get my hands on that new Armageddon box, yeah, I'm definitely playing orcs. I do like those orc models immensely. So, anybody out there who's willing to give me that box or help me along try to get it, I'm all ears. Ghost King Boo says, my black tempers are very loyal to the Emperor. Amen to that. Born says, too much. I'm basically new to Warhammer. Yeah, I guess he meant too much info. Yeah. Then Rose, okay, no, that's a blue lick. Sorry, they're similar colors. So blue lick out of Saudi was I can make a Tzeentch Marine too. Throw a bunch of blue dust in a can, and there we go. Yeah. Those are not necessarily Tzeentch Marines. Those are Thousand Suns Rubik Marines. Only the Rubik Marines are the exception to that, who go around having to be dust in a can. So there is a difference. But how you doing, Blue Wick? Welcome to the stream. What brings you by? Okay, looks like this thing kind of hardened on me. Right now, I'm just painting tiny little corners with my ceramite white and my quintuple zero marine. To we call an extreme highlight. Okay, let's see, where did I stay off? Oh yeah, in board 71, don't worry too much about it being a lot of information. What I always tell people is just start with what looks cool and start researching that. Don't feel like you have to get into necessarily any kind of books or any kind of model specifically. Just go with what calls to you. Like I said, the main thing that people told me that I would enjoy was the novels, particularly the Caiaphas Cain novels. So I just started there. And then from there, I started moving on to things that would attract my interest. And that's how I progressively learned more and more about Warhammer. And... all right. Phaedral says hiding of building is split between the snail tank for the separatists in Star Wars Legion and the Chaos Land Raider 40k. Woo, okay, so you're definitely a vehicle fan. I think I remember the snail tank. Very fun looking design. And Blue exists, fair enough. And Phaedral says, I have wanted a Chaos Land Raider for about 6 years now. Oh, wow. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm guessing you're super excited then. Do you have any idea how you would paint it if you get the chance? Person Draco says, currently on the 7th book, Legion. Okay, so you're making some headway. I know you still got about 50 more books to go, but hey, that's still more than just one. Bullock says, doing great. The stream was on my timeline. I appreciate watching people with great talent and good taste for ambient music. I'm glad you're liking the music. And thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the stream. Usually I paint on Thursdays and I game on Sundays. So this Sunday we'll be playing Grand Blue Fantasy. I just finished painting Warhammer 40k Mechanicus, which was a lot of fun. Though I was a little underwhelmed by the ending. Here we go. Read about that says differences between the Plague Marines and the Root Marines. In clean one with chlorine, you vacuum the others. Yeah. Pedro says, now to run up my Chaos Vehicle pool, I need a Chaos Vindicator. Oh yeah, everybody's loving those new Vindicators. And Blue Lick says, fun fact, that plays music when I drive around. It reminds me that the flesh is weak. Oh, I guess you're a big fan of Mechanicus Ed. Such a great game. And Blue Lick says, oof, Terra Relevan, that's diabolical. And then Phaedro says, Demon Engines, I still need a Mauler Fiend, Forge Fiend, Defiler, and Lord Discordant on Helltaker. Oh, you're going full chaos now. Relevan, speaking of that, I love that in Space Marine 2, when you destroy Rubik and he recreated, you can see the trap soul in the armor. Woo, really? I didn't know that. That's actually pretty cool. Phaedro says, but I will have to wait until later because this month I'm getting the new Mandalorian Army box, which costs the same as a Defiler. Yeah, Warhammer 40k is an expensive hobby. What else? Phaedro says, Land Raider paint scheme, black and gold with metal for the Black Legion. Oh yeah, can't go wrong with the classics. And Phaedro says, Followage, thank you for the follow very much. And Phaedro said, guess I'll have to check manually. Green, check manually. And then I'm an accident prone. Accident prone NL. It says, I stumbled into the stream because I was interested in 40k tabletop. The only painting I've done is the superstructure and engine room on tugboats. Just here enjoying the vibe. Oh, hey, welcome, welcome. I'm Interrogator Rosarios at Satum Lady Inquisitor Markham of the Order Hereticus, and this looking cute and painted minis. I stream every Thursday and Sunday. But yeah, if you don't do a lot of painting, what exactly, as far as army stuff, that you're interested in? Like, what is the army you would like to play? Sorry, that was a long roundabout way of saying, what army do you want to play? Phaedro says, 11/12/2023, that's when I started following. Oh, yeah. Yeah, when, that's pretty much near the beginning, really. I started around October. And Mudkip says, the only drawback to fighting Thousand Suns is that dust spills out instead of blood when I kill them in Space Marine 2. I guess you're a more visceral player. That Phaedro says there's a website that can find how long you have followed a streamer, but you have to connect to your Twitch. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. I know that the God Emperor wanted me to show his model, so while I'm here and kind of taking a little break, I might as well check out what his model looks like. Hold on a second while I download the picture. Okay, there it is. Let me download that. Okay. I need a, here we go, image. Properties. Oh, this is big. I'm gonna have to shrink this down. Alright, there we go. This is the God Emperor's latest model that he just painted. It's a Land Raider. Obviously is for the Ultramarines. And I really like how all the decals came out. Very nice. And has a lot of grit to it. Well done, God Emperor. Okay, where did I stay off? That's a most stream. Blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, there we go. I'm accident prone. Probably guard if I get into tabletop. Oh, okay. Any particular guard regiment? And Phaedral says no Discord yet, or on profile? Yeah, no Discord yet. I don't have one. I haven't found enough of a demand for it. I mostly just talk to anybody who's willing to talk to me over on Instagram. So again, if you feel like chatting with me or ask me anything, hit me up on Instagram over at RosarioUSArt. And here we go. What else? Board says Phaedrals on Twitch. There's no Discord yet. I asked just a few minutes before. Yes. But again, if there's enough of demand for it, I will make one. Just let me know. And then Ray Levon says, well, time to escape from work. See you. Glad I was here for a while and that I was encouraged to write because since English isn't my native language, I was undecided. Well, hey, I appreciate the effort. What is your native language, by the way? Because I also speak Spanish. And the board says, see you, Ray Levon. Yeah, you take care, Ray Levon. Hope to see you for the next stream. Again, I stream on Thursdays and Sundays. And the Gunner per Mass says there are 2 images of it. And then the board says, I'll take your crown by the time you're back. All right, I'll go ahead and show the other one, God Emperor. Hold on. And that's the other one. I really like how you did the hazard stripes on that door. Very nice. And Reylaman dice, Santa Madre de Dios. He said, or I guess she said, only Holy Mother of God. And Board 71 says, lol. Alright. God Emperor Man says, that was a pain in the butt. Yeah, I bet. That's why I haven't painted a vehicle yet. I do have a Caradron Overlord vehicle that I can paint at some point, but I've been waiting for a while for it. Because, yeah, I prefer to paint characters. But maybe one day I'll paint them on stream. It's the little flying ships that they got. Very cute. I want to make sure that my technique is just right, because I haven't painted a lot of vehicles. And the board 31 says, wait, could you explain? Isn't God Emperor the Emperor? Why is it a tank? No, that's his model. He painted that. He is not the Land Raider. And Poor says, looks really good. And the guy per mass says, nah, the hazard stripes. Okay, gotcha. The hazard stripes were paint. I ever seen a really good video on how to paint stripes, primarily on pants. But I've been using that same technique for painting hazard stripes. I used it for my Caradron, sorry, not my Caradron, for my kitbash of the Iron Warriors. And I think the one I saw was by Pete the Wargamer. I think he made a little how to do it. Alright, let's see. What other parts should I do an extreme highlight of? We still have plenty of little tips here and there. I'm gonna go ahead and continue that. See, there's one here. Lord Inquisitor Callahan says, one more dip, gotta go. Well, I'm a dip. Go to get this paperwork done. I'm guessing you mean got to get this, okay, that's what you wrote. I'm having a hard time reading right now. Got to get this paperwork done. I'm Imperator Interrogator, and always, if you or the lady need anything, feel free to send me an astropathic message. Will do, and I'm sure she can reach you directly. She is an astropath. Like, she usually does a lot of her own communique. But thank you for coming, Lord Inquisitor. I hope you had a good time. I hope everybody's been having a good time. Alright, I think we are done here. As far as that, I'm gonna go ahead and try to do at least a little bit more painting. Oh, don't wanna drop that. So I'm gonna try to do some quick coats of Morfang Brown. Just gotta find where my Morfang Brown is. Where is my Morfang Brown? There it is. And we got Varo AK saying, how long do you spend on one miniature? Well, if I have an uninterrupted time to paint, my best work so far has been 4 hours worth of time. However, I usually lean somewhere closer to around 8 hours. But welcome, Varo, AK. How you been? I hope you're enjoying the stream. I'm Interrogator Rosarios, attached to Lady Inquisitor Markham of the Order Hereticus, and currently we're painting what I like to call a Tzeentch Marine. What brought you by? And we have Bluelick says, I can't imagine it's good for the eyes to focus on needle-thin details and then trying to read chat. That's probably getting to me at this point. And then Board71 says, how long will you stream and what games do you usually play on stream? Today I'll only be painting for, I think, a few more minutes. In fact, I might not even paint for much longer. I do want to at least get some of this Morfang Brown on here. Yeah, I guess I'll stick with 2. No, I need something a little bit more control. I'll use my size 3 grab. Even though it's bigger, it's got a better tip. Yeah, I usually paint for about 2 hours, and I stream for about 2 hours, should I say. And what games I play? I am currently playing Grand Blue Fantasy, but I pretty much only play things that I can actually run while streaming. My computer is a little old, so you have to bear with me because I can't play any of the latest and greatest games. So I play whatever my computer can run. I've played so far Mechanicus. I've played Tales of Iron, and I'm currently playing Grand Blue Fantasy. But yeah, I started a little late today. That's why I figured I should, paint a little while longer. Though I think in trying to get the paint and whatnot, I am running out of time. So let me just try to get some paint on here at least. And Board 71 says Slay the Spire. I've heard of Slay the Spire, but I've never played it, so I'd have to give it a look, and maybe I'd be willing to play it.
Accende lumen sensibus in funda morem cordibus, infirma nostri corporis virtute firmans perpeti. Postem repellas longus, pacemque dones protibus, ductores icte praedio dicenus omne
And Phaedra says, Rosario, have you seen my Insta lately? I'm not sure which one's yours, so no, I haven't seen it. Is it called Phaedra's also?
Deo Patris gloria, et Filio quia mortuis surrexit, ad Paraclito, in seculorum saecula.
Oh, and mind you, the plan is to actually paint this non-metallic. Right. I'll definitely check it out, Phaedrus. I'll send you a little message on there once I have. Let me just try to at least get some paint here real quick before it's too late. But why? What's up? Did you upload something? Would you like me to show it on stream? Fado says, oh, I just have a lot of recently built minis on there. So, oh, well, hell, I'll check it out. Hold on, let me at least add this bit of paint here onto the chest. And then we'll end the stream there, where we'll check out your stuff. Alright, I think that's where we'll leave it for today. But let's see. And Board says, show the marine in detail, please. Alright, yeah, here you go. This is what we've done so far today. I'm very happy with how that blue is looking. We can finally start working on other parts that aren't blue. And Boer says, by the way, to be honest, didn't believe in brown, but it's coming along now. Oh, the brown is just the lowest color in order to get that uh, non-metallic metal. So that's the only reason why we're starting with Morphine Brown. The idea is to give him that undercoat, so then start layering on a gold color. But yeah, there he is. And yeah, let me check out that. Check out. Why am I drawing on blank on words today? I'm gonna check Phaedros X's Instagram, and we can check out some of the models he's put together. Here we go. Hold on. All right, let's check out these models. Very cool. Oh, I like the Dexter. Very fun. All right, what's next? Okay, a lot of the droids. Hopefully those legs don't break. They look very spindly. And we have that Land Raider that you're talking about. Very cool. I love the way it looks. And that Chaos Spaceman on the top with the, what do you call those? Thunderbolters? Twin bolters? They're very cool. Ooh, I like this one with the round vehicle. That's the thing that Obi-Wan drove in the third one, right? Combi bolter, there we go. Explicator Valeria says, well, I'm gonna head out. See you, Rosa. Thank you very much for coming, Explicator. Always a pleasure to have you. You and your husband. Ooh, I like this one with the cloth. And then God Emperor Man Stormbolters. Yeah, Stormbolters. Thank you for that, God Emperor. And Graydon, aka Board, says, how can you do this? 3D printer? I think they do sell their own, don't they? Yeah, they have their own line of miniatures, Star Wars does. So these are all of them here. Very cool, Phaedros. Very cool. Well, yeah, that's it for today. But if you like what I do and like to support, please consider subscribing to my Twitch channel or donating to my Ko-Fi at Rosario Rivas Art. And if you miss an episode, feel free to check out my YouTube channel, which is also called Rosario Rivas Art. I also post monthly videos where I kind of let my opinions now be known, aka called Rosario Rants. And I also made my first ever painting tutorial. It's about half an hour long, and it's how I painted a Plague Marie. So if you're interested in that, please, by all means, comment in the video. Let me know if you like it and if you'd like to see more of it. And if there's anything you would like more explanation of for the future. And remember that if you'd like me to commission to paint the mini for you, then please hit me up on Instagram over at Rosario Rivas Art. So before we go, let's go ahead and see who we can raid, at least on the Twitch side of things. All right, we're gonna raid. We're gonna raid DK Diamantes from Adeptus Ridiculous. And he's currently playing a little bit of Space Marine, so it should be fun for everybody to check out. Okay, it says a little bit of Space Marine. Doesn't look like he's playing Space Marine. But anyway, let's still give him a follow and a look. Anyway, thank you very much for coming. It has been a pleasure meeting all of you. So many new faces. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday at 7 p.m. EST. That's when I stream. And anyway, I have been Rosario Rivas, and I'm signing out from the Grimdark Future. Bye-bye, Varlets. Take care.
Yo, Rosario!